So crank it up loud. Let the story unfold. We're the masters of slash. Be brave and be bold. In the heart of the battle, we'll rise from the ground. With every beat pumping in a warrior sound.
What's up, man? Freaking new intros, killing it out here, man.
What's up, everybody?
How's everybody doing tonight, man? Episode 64, just come back from the Hell Expo 2025, and I got to say it was a pretty nice show. All the speakers there killed it. So much knowledge, information. Basically, what this was how to run your shop from start to finish. And these guys did a phenomenal job. Each guest, I think it was 10, had an hour to speak. And there was some tools, ADOS, DenOps, those guys, Hell Trace. Man, it was just
PDR finesse. Yeah,
fantastic stuff, man. Of course, Kiko was in here. I had some Kiko footage, but I screwed it up while I was there. So I didn't put it in. So
all right, you mentioned them. That's good.
Right, yeah.
Anson.
VIP was there. Of course, they're always in the forefront. I mean, I don't know anybody that doesn't have any VIP tools.
Right,
So,
definitely.
Yeah.
It looked like to be a good show. I mean, you must have picked up some really good knowledge. I look forward to next year. I do look forward to going.
Yeah,
I'm just one. Even though hail isn't big in my area, I'm definitely. I'm a thirst for knowledge.
Right.
Like I always want to learn more. And who knows? Maybe I'll go out and do some hail sometime. You never know.
Well, to reiterate this was called the Hail Expo. So you would think, okay, well, if I don't do hail, I don't need this. But this was running your shop from front to back again.
Yeah.
So CPA, knowledge, tax, all that kind of stuff, how to invest your money wisely when you do get it. I mean, how to capture clients, anything and everything, marketing strategies, how to market your business. So, yeah, it's called the Hail Expo, but really, you could take this knowledge that these guys had out here and you could apply it to whatever you wanted to.
Awesome. Sounds like a great event.
It was a fantastic event. And I mean, we was at the casino, so nobody went and gambled or had any alcohol at all.
Oh,
so
no.
Nobody done that.
Not at a dead guy convention.
No, not at all. And, of course, there was a couple tool trucks there, so you had to get on there and see what they had, what they were doing, and all that. Lots of good stuff. Anson was there. I don't think we mentioned them, but Anson had some good stuff. I mean, had Dent Vision stuff there, so seeing a lot of that stuff going away.
That Dent Vision stuff,
right? And
speaking of,
one more thing before we bring on our guest is next week
live, we will pick the winner of that. So if you're not entered in the giveaway, head over to one of our Meta platforms, either Instagram or Facebook, and you have to like the profile Smash Masters, whether it be Facebook or Instagram. You need to like the post and tag 3 friends in the comments in the giveaway post, and you're entered. That's it. And we will contact you if you win. But if you watch next week live, you could see us pick your name live.
Absolutely. And it looked like a lot of people, more than normal than we've had enter this time. So it's going to be fun going through this and seeing who gets that.
I can't wait. I love giving away tools. People get so excited.
Yeah, they
including me.
Hey, I love it. I like taking this stuff down to the post office and shipping it out to somebody because
it is fun.
It's kind of good. But I mean, it's a brand new tool. I've been wanting to use it. Hadn't used it yet. It's still brand new. So
I have a feeling we're going to be ordering a few pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm going to have to get one of these for sure. But speaking of, anything else for you before we bring on our guest?
No, sir.
All right, let's bring him in here.
All right. Andrew Esquivel.
What's up, buddy?
On the show. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
So, I mean, you found us randomly and started showing up in the comments. I got to say, I think you're the first name that I saw regularly pop up in the podcast chat, the live chat, that I was like, where did this guy come from? You know, like I don't
It's always
know
good.
him from a trade show somewhere. He's not a friend or a coworker or anybody.
Right.
So it was like a little bit of legitimacy.
We we say it all the time, you know, PDR community, they always have hangouts and places to go to, like the expos or the tool trade shows or anything. But collision guys, man, they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have any of this
Right.
stuff. I guess if you wanted to say you could go to SEMA and go to that, but that's not really like some of these trade show PDR community stuff that we've got. So we enjoyed your comments, and
Yes,
we wanted to learn a lot more about what you had going on. So
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
yeah, absolutely.
So
Go ahead.
Start out, we know your name. Where are you from? How old are you?
Yeah, from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I'm 31 years old. Just turned 31 last month.
Okay. All right. And you are an auto body technician. How long you been doing that?
Since I was 18, so what's that, like 13 years, something like that?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Not a short amount of time at all. And what got you into it?
I kind of fell into it a little bit. I mean, I always like cars and stuff. Like being a kid, my grandpa had a transmission shop, so he just let me organize bolts and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I started in detail and ended up quitting that job. And there was a collision shop on site, and they found out I'd left the detail department, and they were looking for a detail guy. So
okay, nice.
they hit me up, and I started washing cars at the body shop.
So did you ever try to build transmissions or do any transmission work while you were there? I mean, I know you're young, but
right. No, I thought about it. He was pretty much checked out of it. He just done it for like friends and family when they needed it.
Okay.
At least when I got old enough to mess and actually do things, you know, besides organize bolts.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So most people think that transmissions run on magic. So I'm sure you see in the insides of what goes on. You actually have a little bit of knowledge of that. That's kind of cool. You're the first guy that's come on the show that I've heard say anything about transmission work. So yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Usually it's a mechanic shop or body shop. Transmission shop, that's a little different,
right?
So that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah.
Did you go to trade school at all?
I just went to a local community college for welding for like a year. Yeah, done some night classes. It was pretty nuts. So I think it was like 10 to 2 in the morning, something like that.
10 to 2 in the morning. Did you work a day job or anything while doing that, or?
Yeah, I was washing cars.
Just washing the cars.
So that's when you were.
When I started, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So washing cars during the day and doing welding classes and stuff at night. That's pretty sweet. Give us a little bit of how kind of like the welding classes went for you. What did that look like?
We started off with stick welding. They kind of train you for like Deer Hitachi welding big pipe and stuff like that.
Yep.
And you kind of move on to doing some MIG welding, and then you move to the TIG welding. I just started doing the TIG welding when I kind of called it. And I was like, I need to focus on collision. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
So, all right. So while you were welding in trade school, you were working in a body shop, and you decided that was going to be your gig, and you give up the welding. So I get it. Mm-hmm. But it's good that you got that big welding training in, honestly, because I like to say the only thing I learned in auto body trade school is how to weld. Pretty much the only real thing we did there.
It's a big difference welding, half-inch pipe, compared to welding, car, what's that, like 30 seconds?
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna guess gauge, honestly.
Yeah.
It's
super
thin. It's thin.
For sure.
Yeah, 16, 18 gauge.
Yeah.
Almost
No,
how it is.
I've gotten plenty of those comments from real welders, and you can always tell who the real welders are in my videos if they feel like leaving a little bit of hate. So that's not welding. It's like, okay, you come and try and weld this thin stuff.
Right.
show me what you can do.
Yeah, right, right.
End up with big holes everywhere.
Yeah, they don't
Right.
even know.
No,
So-
they don't, and that's
So
okay.
so how long did you detail before you actually got in there?
So not too long actually. It probably was a maximum of maybe 4 months, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "Oh yeah, we need to get you prepping cars." So then I kind of,
Okay.
yeah, it was the cleanup bay was actually in the paint shop,
Okay.
so I got to see all the action going down. And it wasn't too long, he was like, "Hey, you got some free time? You want to prep these cars for me?" And it was just one painter, so it was a no-brainer for him.
Mhm.
Right, right. So I guess you were showing some interest in what he was doing while you were doing
Oh,
that.
for sure. I'm not about sitting on my hands. I got to see what's going on.
Right,
Yeah,
right. So that's how you got that. You were showing some interest in
for sure.
and kind of went into that. So you started prepping, and then how long did you prep for?
Man, I actually liked prepping. I didn't really want to get out of it. I prepped for at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then, uh, I think when I was going to school, I had been washing cars because I remember moving my way up into the body shop from a prepper, and that's when I told my teacher, I'm like, oh, it's time for me to check out. I get to weld. I get to use what you taught me, and then I
Mhm.
love it. I really like it. I enjoy it every day, and I can't do both. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, that's draining on you to work
Yeah.
a full-time job and then go to school at night. I don't think I could have done that, honestly. I worked some 70, 80-hour weeks, and that was about the maximum for me. What you're describing is more than that.
yeah, I was
So,
having some sleep issues, man. I would get
yeah.
stuck. I'd fall asleep and like get stuck and wake up and couldn't move, and it's terrible. Yeah, I don't recommend
Mhm.
that for anybody. I don't know how
Yeah.
people do it.
Don't
Right.
blame me at all for deciding which one was your priority and putting your focus into one or the other. You did good there.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
collision
don't.
repair. I mean, were you looking at the frame machine going, man, I want to be a frame tech? Or did that scare you?
Um, I don't think it made me nervous that much.
Okay.
The guys, they don't use the thing, very rarely
Mhm.
did he use the thing.
Okay.
But it was like an old Chief machine, it wasn't too complicated. It was pretty basic, chain tower. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I could probably do that. So they're just
Just a simple
pulling,
machine.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it didn't look too crazy.
No.
Yeah, right, right. So what did how did you get out of prepping to go into there? Because normally if
That
you
is a good
enter a
question.
prepping phase, you're on to the paint section from there. So that's kind of like a little turn that you made.
Yeah, so their painter, I mean, he had been there. He's running the show. He's got it figured out. Running two booths. He didn't need another painter.
Yeah.
That was my
Okay.
way to work my way up. It included a raise and everything, and so I was like, okay, do it. He said, I'll start you off small. They didn't. Um,
Threw you
yeah,
under there.
yeah, threw me right in the lion's den, right under the bus, guys. I mean, it
Yeah.
was
I mean,
nobody should have to go through that, but I mean, what do you do,
you
Did
might
you
be
I
right,
would
but can't decide what walks in the door.
right.
I would
I
have
mean,
much
Unfortunately.
rather I would have much rather have been like under somebody,
that's what I was
Okay.
just about to ask. Where did you get under somebody, or did they just put you over there?
Yeah, I mean,
By
of course,
yourself?
the guys looked over their shoulder and kept an
Mm,
eye on me,
yeah,
but I wasn't necessarily under anybody. The guys were
I got
super
you.
nice and helpful, but I wasn't, under anybody at all.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
While
I can
you
relate.
while you were prepping, did you do any like small filler work or anything did that get you in the groove to actually do body work, or how did you actually come to doing that?
Those guys primed and everything, so the most I would do is hunt for pinholes,
Hmm.
stuff like that, checking body work, making sure it was
Yeah,
Wow.
straight,
and
blocking some body work.
yeah, and I know that you never found a pinhole because body guys don't leave pinholes. So
No.
I know you didn't
What's
find
a
any.
pinhole?
Right.
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 Yeah, we didn't find anything. Yeah, we didn't find anything out here.
What are you
Um,
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what that is.
There's
I mean,
always a
I
couple little specks where somebody tried to finger the primer to push it
yep.
in the pinhole.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
I mean, I take care of my pinholes, and there's always times when I miss them. So I mean, it can happen to anybody, but
Yeah, it sure can.
some people just seem to be like ignorant of the fact that there might be pinhole. If you
you
don't
try
blow
that?
it off, you don't see them.
Did you try the pinhole eliminator from U-Pole?
I've not from U-Pole. No, I've been using the Evercoat 440 Express for my whole career.
Right. I started with the Evercoat, but you got to try the eliminator. It is another level.
It must have been you that told me that, because somebody told me that. And other people have mentioned that it's a great product. I just, I'm not going to invest in it at this point. So like if the body shop doesn't, then I won't end up trying it. But
I understand that. I respect
I've
that.
mentioned it. I've had mentioned it to my material supplier, and if amongst a few other things, there's a UV glaze that I really want to try. It's in everybody's videos, and I can't get my hands on it for some reason. With whatever suppliers that I have, they aren't licensed to sell it or something. But we have a light,
Oh, wow.
so
That's a start.
right. That's the expensive part.
That's
For sure.
Is the light, and we have the primer. I just want to use the glaze. I want to see how fast and how easy that is, because it looks fast and easy.
Yeah, I haven't tried that either.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, if they want you to go fast, they'll get it.
for sure. Okay, so we're learning body work, and they threw you under. So did they throw you under to the fact that you were doing quarter panels within a year?
Actually, yeah. I remember,
Okay.
I had no business. I remember one time, I mean, these guys didn't use procedures. Like it was, what's the procedure? You know what I'm saying? So you just kind of see what the other guys are doing,
13 years ago, it was starting to become a thing. Yeah. So
Yeah, you just
I
kind
get
of
it.
see what other guys are doing, and that's, what I was doing. I was sectioning them in the wrong spot. Like one guy had an idea that he would section it on the edge of the car, on the outside of it, like on the jam area, right where it meets the door.
Yeah.
And he convinced me to do that one time.
Yeah.
And oh, it was a nightmare. Like I could weld, so like I made it work, but the adjuster happened to come by and see it, and he was like, "Oh my God, what have you done?" What is this?
That's usually not a good sign when even the
he was like-
insurance adjuster doesn't like
He
it.
said it looked good, but don't ever do this again.
Yeah, right.
Kind of how I found out there was procedures involved.
Yeah. I mean, that bought lessons. I mean, what can you say? But I mean, how do you know unless you're looking up to your peers or the leaders in the shop?
Yeah.
When I started, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, especially when you're brand new. I mean, you're kind of just in a shop mimicking each person, like
Right.
to kind of build your own self at this point.
You're trying everything, finding out what works for you, what works best, what's fastest, and then you create your own process, within now manufactured procedures.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I started, procedures weren't a thing. I mean, that I keep forgetting the name, John Eagle or whatever the body shop is down there. They got sued. That case wasn't a thing yet. So
right.
we were doing full clips. We were changing panels wherever we want. I mean, I was taught how to section, and you choose how to section based on where's the easiest. Where's the easiest, and or if this spot is hidden behind a glass, and that's your spot, So
100%.
And I worked for a guy who didn't want to take out the back glass, so he had me go across the body line on an Audi A4.
Oh,
right.
So that was a nightmare. and I wasn't there long, believe me.
Right.
But yeah, that was that was the time. Single-sided spot welding. I mean, it was accepted.
Did you
Icon
have
was allowing it.
Did you have the Lenco single-sided welder in your shop?
Dude, we didn't even have a spot welder. Them boys were plug welding everything.
What about
Yep.
you and yours, Stefan?
No,
So the Lenco,
i4 had it.
so the Lenco is just pretty much two look like single-sided weld. So you hold both of them together and you can just weld. They had a video out of this guy that had an old Buick and he sectioned it right across the body line, similar to what you were talking about. And he took this Lenco spot welder and he just went spot and welding all
Sounds
the
like
way
my old
down it.
boss.
And the next thing you know, the dude has got his golf gear on and he's hitting the golf balls. He's knocking them down the field. And that this was supposed to be the greatest machine that you've ever seen. Now, this was in like 2009.
Oh, because he saved so much time using
Saves so much time,
I
yeah,
get it.
using
He's
that welder.
golfing.
But the thing was, it was showing him do it across the body line. So that was an acceptable form of repair at some point.
Oh, wow.
Until they recently changed it, which I mean, I know in restoration people do that still, but that you can't be doing that nowadays.
No,
So-
for sure.
We did have that shop that I went to that had me section across the body line. That is the only quarter panel I ever put on with a spot welder like that.
Mm-hmm.
He had that with the two handles.
Yeah.
And when I first did it, I was taking them because I had already used the i4 Pro Spot.
Take them on the inside.
So I was one on the inside. I was squeezing it myself. And he goes, you don't need to do that. You can just put one here and one here. And I'm like, okay.
he was in there squeezing the shit out of that thing, wasn't he?
Yeah, I was. The fact that I said, where's the spot welder? And he rolls over something that was about this big with wires rolled around it. I was just like,
all right.
Okay.
What do we
Can you imagine working with that guy your whole career?
Yeah.
He's still in business all
Wow.
by himself. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a different ball game now.
He's still writing estimates with a
What's up, Chris?
spreadsheet using books from 2003.
Yeah,
I
stuck in the day.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
Like just something
That's-
else.
I wasn't
Painting
even
in a
around
bay.
when they were doing that. I mean, I've only heard of those stories. We had computers.
Yeah.
So did we, but this guy
Yeah.
didn't. Like
Yeah.
I went over there. I'm like, I'm going to work in this mom and pop shop, and yeah, I learned a lot, like old school stuff. That was my
Mhm.
first shop ever, actually.
Dude whipped
Before
out
the
a
production.
typewriter on you.
And then I went back there because I was being freaking nostalgic. And that's when I did the infamous Audi quarter panel across the body line. That's when I was like, I'm out. And I went back to the production shop. Learned my lesson real quick. Daniel says, how come Toyota sells sail panels in 4 sections? Because they hate us.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten Toyota quarter panel and a Toyota rocker with a gap like that in between.
Yep.
Sure enough.
Yeah, Kia's bad for that too. Kia Hyundai.
Yep. It's another one. I spent so much time in a Toyota dealership that I saw a lot of that.
I've seen a couple of guys. I haven't done it myself, just because I've cut panels too short before, but they'll measure it out exactly how the OEM procedures say do it without the quarter panel being there.
No.
And they'll go ahead and cut it out. And then, man, every time you have a huge gap right there.
Never do that.
And it's because whoever they got at Toyota, man, they're just gripping and ripping these dudes. They don't care.
It seems like they do it with like the mechanical scissors too, because the edge is all like wonky. Like
I feel like I feel like their tape measure's missing a couple of numbers too, because they never can get it all the way to the correct spot either.
That's good. I like that.
But whatever. So yeah, we are
we're talking about you getting into doing body work.
Yeah, we're in the beginning, and let's
I want to know. So you were talking about how these guys were putting on panels with the MIG welder. Did you have to do that, or did you have a spot welder when you were doing them?
No. Well, we didn't have a spot welder at that shop. We had no spot welder, no measuring system. Yeah.
So you did it old school.
Yeah, I thought that was the way it was done, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's all. That's what everybody else was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah, it's I mean you mimic what you see, kind of. So let's do you have a story of something that maybe was like just really difficult that gave you like the hard time to where even years now you can still go, man, I remember this situation.
Yeah, there was a door one time. I don't remember. I think it was a Ford store. So I think it was a Ford Fusion, and I had probably over pulled this panel or something. I can't quite remember exactly, but I remember it was it was oil canning pretty bad, and I didn't know what to do. Right, I'm like, so I get one of the guys to come over there and help me, fix the oil can, and he whips out the big, torch, brings the tanks over, and I'm like, oh God, okay, you know, and you know, he
Yeah.
gets the thing going, and man, he gets to going on that panel, and he's got a wet rag, he's cooling and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, this is how you do it, and he's like, here, go for it, and I'm like, I was kind of expecting him to show me, like, all right, he's gonna show me, he's gonna do it one time for me, and I'll know next time. Oh no, he just let me
No.
be. Yeah, he just let me be. I'm over there. Don't know where I'm supposed to be eating. Yeah. Needless to say, we replaced that door. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he let me get my feet wet,
Right.
Oh,
But that's
God.
the last time I used a torch on a door, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not my favorite way either.
There's lots better ways now, especially on this thinner stuff. I mean, I'm sure you heated the shit out of the door
Yeah.
too, didn't you?
I mean, a little spot, but he was showing me to get it red, so that's well over what the manufacturer wants, but at the time, or what manufacturer, like what
Yeah.
procedure.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, with a torch, you do have to get it red hot for it to do anything because
Yeah.
it's the you're not heating it up fast enough, so it has to get hot enough in order to do what you want when you cool it down. So yeah, it's an ugly process with a torch. That's how I was taught. I mean, I was taught how to weld with a freaking torch and a curtain
Yeah.
rod.
Mhm.
They did teach us that. They taught us that. I did get to do that in college a little bit.
And even when I was there, and it's not that long ago, we're only talking less than 20 years ago. We did it. We cut a fender in half, welded it back together, didn't test it on anything, and then they basically said, "Yeah, you'll never have to do this.
Yep.
You'll
Right.
have to weld a fender back together like that, and you'll never have to use a torch to weld." It's like,
Yeah.
oh, good thing I'm paying you all this money to be here.
To show me what I'm never gonna do, and then you go and watch some.
I could talk about it on a podcast someday.
Right. Right. And then you go and watch Gene Winfield cut a car, section the whole rooftop together with that same setup, and you're like, holy shit.
I mean, yeah, I know it's possible.
Right.
Yeah, back in the day when the metal was thicker and stuff on these older cars, I'm sure you could probably get away with those techniques. That was what you done, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Right. Absolutely. So moving along, let's see, when did you start feeling like you were really good? Like whatever job came to you, you felt like I'm comfortable enough. I can handle this.
I'm pretty hard on myself, so that took some years.
Yeah.
I had moved on to probably like my third shop before I started getting pretty comfortable.
So how many years?
Yeah. How many years?
So probably about between 3 and 5 years.
Magic numbers right there. That's
Yeah,
what
between 3 and 5
everybody
years.
says.
I was
Everybody
hard
says.
headed at my third year, and I kind of humbled myself. I had a really good kind of like a mentor at one of the shops, and
Good.
he went over there to give me some advice, and I gave him a hard time about it. And then when I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I need to go apologize to this man because what he just told me made a lot of sense. And so went over there and apologized, and I looked up to him ever since, and he helped me along the way so much.
Yeah. Right.
So I've got a story not that definitive, but there was a point in my life where pretty much I decided I had to come in with a different attitude.
For sure.
And I feel like that was the day I chose to succeed. What you just described is the day you chose to succeed, the day you chose to swallow what you had, your pride, go up to him and apologize. You realize that was worth it for you rather than being spiteful, which a lot of people never reach that, never, their whole lives. And I see it in the industry every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, about the third year mark is when you're going to find yourself getting into trouble with some of this bigger work because you're confident enough, you know a decent amount, but you haven't been able to tackle these tougher jobs yet, these bigger problems that maybe, just doing bumper or small repairs or swapping out panels or something you haven't tackled yet. But that's usually when we see people kind of start figuring out, hey, we're working through some serious problems. Then about that
Yeah.
5 year mark, you've made it. You've hit the time. You put the time in. You've tackled all these tough situations, and now you're ready to pretty much do anything on there.
Kind of like when you realize you stopped asking people to come over and look at what you're working on and give you advice, and you're able to just kind of do this one, then do the next one, then do the next one. And you're like, no, I didn't ask any help for any of these.
Right.
Yeah.
Just say like you pull the car up on the frame machine and she's bent a little in a few directions. You're like, man, I know exactly what I need to do. I'm pulling this, I'm moving this out of the way. We probably need to swap this out, put a new one on, and pre-pull, all that stuff. About 5 year mark, you'll figure that out.
Yeah,
Is
this was a
Go ahead.
frame rail, and I tried to repair it, and it was right in the vicinity of an impact sensor. And he was like, hey, by the procedure, you're supposed to be so many inches from that sensor, whatnot, kind of trying to remember exactly what he said.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that's kind of was like, okay, procedures, I need to follow that. And so there on forward, I was definitely listening to him and asking for procedures because I didn't have my own computer where I could just look them up myself at the time.
Yeah.
So I just go ask them, hey, can I get a procedure for this or that? And he was a book anyway, so I could just ask him and he would know. But at that time, I didn't know I really shouldn't just be asking him. But yeah, that's how I got by like that for a little bit.
Right.
A lot of shops are set up where you have to ask for procedures. So
They really
I don't
are.
think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, it might, and I actually think that's kind of good because, we have enough tools to ask us to buy another computer that sit on our toolbox. I mean, most of us can do it. A lot of us did do it. But if I want to not bring in a computer, which I don't have a computer at my work right now, I get all my procedures from the boss. I say if I need something, I ask them, or I have an account so I can look it up on here. But if I want the paper in my hand, which a lot of times I do, yeah.
Does he get you everything?
Normal. Yeah.
Does he get you everything? He researches all the pages, like because normally like it's not just the procedure of what you're replacing. You should have a small book.
You need to read through it, and there are links. Yeah. This one, you need to do this first, and then there's this link for this procedure. I mean, usually procedures start out with performing these procedures first. So yeah, you end up with a book. At my current shop, you get a book.
Yeah, that's how it should be. It's hard to find somebody knowledgeable that can actually do that for you.
Yes.
Yeah. We got some
understand what they're doing. Yeah.
Exactly. We got some good people up front, but all of our guys have their own computer and they're looking up all their own procedures.
Yeah.
And they'll all go print off a small little booklet.
If you can, that's the best way. I mean, if you can have your own computer, that's the best way. It's just every shop should have the ability to do it for the technician because not all technicians can do that. So
yeah,
right. I am personally, I would have a laptop or something in my bay so I could look up anything collision related, whether if you're trying to troubleshoot a wire that's cut or a signal wire, looking up U codes, anything like that. I would have a laptop.
Yep.
Yeah, once you do it, it's hard to go back.
It really is. It really is.
Becomes the work laptop. Just sits on a toolbox and collects dust.
Right. Right. So you said you've been working probably you were 18, 31. So you've been a little over 10 years doing this. Have you started glue pulling on anything, or did you get proficient in metal shaping really good as far as like using file tools or anything like that?
I never got into file tools that much. I normally just hammer and dolly. You know, the biggest I'd go with some 80 grit. You know, that's my file, 80 grit on the DA.
Okay.
I do have this little buffer. I can put some 80 grit on it and run across the panel real quick. And it kind of like sands the top of the where you pulled with the say the maxi or something, the dent puller,
Yeah.
and it kind of shrinks it a little bit at the same time. I think.
Mm.
Yeah, it puts
Yeah.
a little heat in there. But you know, of course, you don't want to get carried away. The metal's thin nowadays, but can run across it. That's what I was doing at first.
Right.
Nick
right.
always impressed me with his metal finishing. It's not something I was ever taught either. Especially with thinner and thinner metals. I mean, guys just got me to the point where it's an 1/8 inch of filler and just mud it, you know, whatever it looked under there.
Yeah.
A lot of people just over pull.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's hard not to when you're learning, especially.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you're dealing with damage that's this big, and you've got a dent puller that's got a point that's the point of a pen, you know, you're gonna pull the first one and then pull a bunch of other ones. Now that first one's way the hell out because you pulled it too much the first time.
Yeah. Now that we have glue, that's not an issue. But back in the day, I would just do line pulls, is what we called them. So you'd set a bunch of keys up, and you could pull more area, and that was the only way I knew to pull area before glue was involved.
Did you use keys or wiggle wire first?
I wasn't a fan of the wiggle wire. I tried it a time or two, but I always noticed with the wiggle wire, if you get one to break, oh, there goes the line.
There goes the whole situation. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So keys were the way to go for sure.
I agree with that. Well, we were talking about doing quarter panels with MIG welding and all that stuff. He's talking about a hack on the floor pan using a 1/4 inch drill bit. There's a ton of ways to do that. I mean, wiping the quarter jam and then kind of using a carbide bit to kind of circle out welds, sticking erasers and primer.
Eraser trick, yeah.
Eraser and primer, or filler.
Right. There's so much different kind of stuff. So I mean, and some guys are really, really good at that kind of stuff. Let's go back to glue pulling. Like when you, like the transition from doing traditional metal work to glue pulling. Like, give us a rundown of how that kind of.
How did you get started? What made you want to try it?
You guys know Jack Builds It. Y'all know Jack?
No.
I don't think so.
I can't remember his last name right now, but he used to do a lot of collision videos and how to, and he had posted a video of Kiko coming to the shop.
Okay.
I think it was Gene, or Danny. It was one of those guys doing some training that day, and he was really good at doing like the live videos. He's pretty consistent. So he done a couple live videos of the in action. And I was like, oh, that's way better at pulling area. So I mean, literally that paycheck, I ordered. I went on their website and ordered some. Yeah, for sure.
Some Kiko stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had to get some of those tabs.
Yeah. What setup did you get? Did you get a setup or did you buy some individual stuff?
Yeah, they had a kit you could get. It would come in a little blue box with a clear lid, and it was a bunch of longer tabs, some flex tabs, and some solid longer tabs, anywhere from like 2 to 6-inch tabs.
Yeah,
and it come with the attachment to pull. You can put a chain on it, and that's kind of where I started with the glue pulling.
Started with the glue pulling. So you watched a couple of live videos. You seen Kiko out there. All right, now you get the kit or the setup in your hand and going through these 6C processes. How long did it take, and how did you figure out that efficiently?
So I was definitely nerding out. So once I seen the video, I went home, that night or that week and looked up some YouTube videos, heard about the 6Cs.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so this is how you do it. Yeah, I don't like to just go in like, oh, here we go. I kind of want to do a little research first, try to do it the right way. At least try,
Love it.
So it was pretty instant. Like, you just follow what they say, and of course the first time was a little rough, but I figured it out by the end of the repair. I was like, okay, this is what sticks.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've heard of somebody just going and teaching themselves the 60 process and being actually successful with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the information's out there. Like you
Right.
said,
It is.
if and he's big on following OEM procedures, so why not follow this procedure?
It just made sense. It was no brainer.
Let's say it the way it is. He knows how to read.
Right. Right.
And he's willing to do so. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it just boggles my mind how many people, you know, they read the 6C process and they come back to me and they go, "What glue are you using? Mine doesn't stick." You know, it's like, clearly you didn't read the process. Something's missing here, and it's not about glue. And then they get mad at me because I say that, you know, but you know, it is what it is. I'm sorry. I don't insult anybody. I just, you know, it's not the glue. Keep trying your glue. And, you know, there's something in this process that you're missing, you know, it's usually temperature range. But no, that's cool. I'm glad that you did that. There's a little bit of proof because every time I send the 60 process to somebody, I'm like, they're not going to read this. But
I like Chris says, I can remember trying it on the, what did I do it on that F450 aluminum truck that one time, man. I didn't have any 6C process or anything. I just glued some onto a tab as hot as I thought it should be, stuck it on there, and you could just pull it right back off with your hand. Like, clearly we're doing something wrong here.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's cool. Have you picked up any other glue pulling stuff since then?
Yeah, I picked up some Cam Auto stuff. I try to get a lot of the stuff from Anson, so they'll toss in some tabs here and there, kind of get you curious.
Anson app.
Yeah, for sure, the Anson app. Yeah. And they'll send you some glue here and there, so I got to try some different glues and kind of learned about collision glue.
Yeah.
I got a handful of tabs. I like the Cam Auto tabs are pretty gnarly too because they kind of work like the keys in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
kind of similar setup. Yeah.
Yeah, had the claw and everything already. So, yeah, that worked out really good.
That's what I really always liked about Cam Auto stuff is that I didn't feel like I had to go out there and buy a whole system. And just a few tabs and the glue and obviously the process. And I can use the claw, my slide hammer, the frame machine.
It integrates perfectly with the already available collision tools.
Right.
Which Kiko, it does take a little bit of.
You need their adapters.
Yeah.
You need their adapters, you know, I mean, and which is not a big deal, but you need their adapters. So you can't just go grab some tabs and just use them.
Right. Cam Auto, you can go buy a tab and say, hey, I want this bendy tab with the hooks on it. And you can buy that tab and you can use it, provided you have the glue.
Loops, hooks, tab tops, or whatever, a big strap on one of his tabs now. You can just pull it with the hook on the frame machine. An 11,000 pound strap. So it's it'll handle some stuff for sure.
I think I was watching I think at the time his name was like the Man of Steel or something like that.
Yeah.
Tim Clark.
And, yeah, him. And he was pulling stuff with 2x4s. He just cut them up and stick them on the panel where he needed to. And I was like, okay, so I have options here. It's all about the prep, you know.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, it is.
He's a big fan of Cam Auto stuff. Sorry to interrupt there, but he's a big fan of Cam Auto stuff.
That's kind of how I found out about it.
Good. Yeah. I just met him over last weekend. He's a super nice dude.
That's awesome.
It's a Cam Auto event. Auto event was a pretty cool event. They're gonna have one of those next year if you're interested in going to that.
Yeah, I enjoy the videos, guys. They're sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a great time.
So I was going to ask, as a collision guy, what are some go-to tools for, like, as far as glue pulling? Like, if you had to say, hey, this set right here, what is some of your favorite glue pulling tools?
So definitely number one would be those Cam Auto tabs, just because how easy they integrate. Then those Kiko tabs, Kiko really supports the collision guys, you know. They have their own little section on there. I'm sure a lot of the other websites do too. But when I was learning, all that was new, so that's just what I had. So that's what I really invested a lot in.
Yeah.
And here recently, I've been using the straps a lot to get that tension off the panel,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a game changer right there. The straps. I had some eye bars, and those work pretty good.
Yeah.
But the straps, man, I can put a tug on the panel and don't have to worry about any excessive damage, unnecessary damage from
Right.
the strap or anything like you
As
would get
long
with
as you're
like
pulling it in the right direction, yeah, no collateral damage.
What are you using the straps in conjunction with?
Oh, what do you mean? Like, what am I pulling them with?
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you have like a slide hammer setup you made? Are you using Porta
Porta Power.
Power or
Yeah, so I have used the Porter Power. I got some the Metal Medic stuff, so I
okay?
can set it up and pull tension across the panel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, and sometimes I'll use a little pogo stick. I'll do
Yep.
that if I need to. And
Okay.
I find sometimes that the slide hammer is good because you need you need a shock. You need to hit the panel hard and quick.
Right.
And that works real good.
The
Not all the
stronger
time.
stuff. Yeah. No, the
Sometimes
stronger stuff you
you
do.
just need some tension on the panel,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can go in and work the damage out.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, like going from your traditional body work to glue pulling. We kind of went over that a little bit, but was it tough at all to kind of like not want to grind the panel down to go ahead and fix it at first? I mean, how did you use a light at first trying that, or how did you go about changing your process?
Mm.
Yeah, like you said, right when you said it was it tough, the first thing I thought of was the mindset. That's the toughest thing is that mindset of because you're having to learn a whole new process. So you are slowing
Mhm.
yourself down at the beginning. You have to
Yep.
want it.
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, that's the biggest thing is the mindset. That was the hardest thing for me getting into it is just like staying consistent. Like, okay, I'm gonna work
Mhm.
this out as much as I can with this glue. It's gonna pay off in the long run. Of course, I didn't have any push tools or anything at the time. So I would just do as much as I can and get the area pulled out with the glue. And of
Mhm.
course, I messed up here and there. I overpulled some, stretched
Right.
some panels here and there. And
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's the biggest thing was the mindset, man.
Okay.
So
So no.
basically changing the way you're even approaching the
Mhm.
damage. I mean, instead of, all right, it's this big. I gotta take this much paint off and then start feeling it, you
Mhm.
know,
Mm. Yeah, that was a big
versus
thing I used to do is
Right.
take all the paint off, right? And now you leave
Right.
it on there, yeah, and you start kind of in the corners, find those creases, kind of
Mhm.
study the
right.
panel a lot more than what you would.
And you use a
Right.
light and you're using your eyes and you can literally read the panel 10 times better than any
For
sanding
sure.
and feeling can do.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
So when did you start applying or adding a light in your process?
So that was actually pretty recent, probably when I started watching you guys.
Okay.
Probably like the second or third episode, I was like, oh yeah, I bet I'm gonna have to get a light.
Okay.
okay.
All right.
When I started
So,
wanting to pick up some hand tools,
so you started glue pulling when a couple of years ago, you said?
I've probably been glue pulling for about three
Sounds like it's been
years.
a
About
while. Yeah, yeah.
about
3 years,
so
maybe a
about
little more. I'm terrible with time.
Yeah, you're good. So about 3 years, and you just recently picked up a light. So, what that's saying is you don't really have to go out and just buy everything at once. You can start out with the glue tabs and get this out. And damage and collision's pretty big, so you can kind of see it obviously until you get
Yeah.
to the small detail stuff. What the light's going to do is pick up the details.
Yep.
So you added the light, and what did you think of that? How long did it take you to read it? Did you look up like any YouTube videos, or you just kind of fell into it, or what?
Oh, for sure. Like I did my research. I tried to
Yeah.
watch some videos. And a lot of people they weren't really spilling all the beans. You got to get the training for that.
Mm,
But I learned enough to get me started.
mm,
Definitely blinded myself quite a few times. Eyes sore after light.
mhm.
Right in my freaking eyes.
Yep.
So yeah, I took the hard way for sure before I
I
got
mean,
any started any
that's our
training.
life now.
Right.
Staring at the light.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah,
But
absolutely. Speaking of talking about training, did you get any training? Have you started any training or done anything like that?
Yeah, I started Mike Toledo training
Okay.
probably about 6 months ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my membership. I just renewed it. So
Okay.
Good deal. Good deal. So you want to
Nice.
learn lines?
not necessarily.
Yeah.
I didn't know how far I was gonna take the
I
the
think everyone should learn
push
both.
tools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know how far I was gonna take it, and his class was really affordable to like get in. I know he's a OG, so I
Yeah.
was just
Yep.
like, all right, I hear this man has a shit ton of videos,
Mhm.
so I was like, okay, I can go here, I can pay this, and I have like unlimited access for so many days. So if I wanted to skip around, so like, oh, this is what I'm doing right now, he's got a platform to do that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
There's so many to choose from now that are really
Right.
good too. So like
There really is.
if you ever want to hop over to another one, I mean, there's plenty to choose from. I mean, you
Oh,
can
that's
send
the
me a
plan.
note anytime.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the
But
plan.
so many. I mean, it's people ask for training. I used to go out and just be like, this one, this is the one, this is the one I did. It's great. You should do it.
Mhm.
And then I had this person gift me their training, and this person I went and did their training, and this person said, "Oh, we've got some training, and I really like that person, so I know their training is good." And it's like, well, shit. When people ask me, I'm like, you have like 5 choices that I really like.
There's
Good luck.
a bunch of them. There's
Good
a bunch
luck.
of
Heck yeah.
But
There
yeah, but I love that,
Mhm.
that it's available. I mean, I would have killed for that 10, 15 years ago. All I
It was
had was
yeah. It
Dent
was,
Wizard, and I decided that I didn't want to go do Dent Wizard, so I just didn't do it.
mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
and it was not available in the recent past. So you mentioned push tools. So you've got you some push tools. I'm guessing. What were some of the recent purchases, or let me say first purchases of your push tools that you started getting into?
The dent craft tools are pretty affordable for me to get started. I
Okay.
definitely looked around, seen some shiny ones, and I was like, oh yeah, those are nice, but I don't even know. I might need 3D sizes. I don't know I didn't know what I was gonna need.
Yeah.
So I started with the dent craft, got a double bend, a single bend, and
Nice.
those worked out pretty good, and especially somewhere I got good access.
Hmm.
So I kind of started using those on fenders and stuff.
good.
Yeah.
I found it. I can squeeze them in a door here and there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work out
Absolutely.
really good. It changes the game for sure. Then besides just glue pulling,
Hmm.
Mm.
you get in there and you can really shape the panel out afterwards.
You're
Definitely
almost
helps.
gonna like so when you can approach smaller things and you have to glue pull it, you're gonna be like, darn it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
Because all I want to do is get behind things and push them out now.
for
Right.
sure.
And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I go heat up the gun.
right.
Yeah, you got to do all
Fast.
that extra stuff. I mean, for smaller stuff that glue pulling is going to be tedious with it, anyways. So having a tool and having the light that you've got now, you can set the light up, take that tool back there, and kind of massage that out until. I mean, you got to finish it out if you don't want to. You can sand it flat and block it, or you can get it to like a little glaze wipe area or whatever you need to.
Right.
Especially if it's a
Got a
big
few
nasty
paint.
stretch dent. Um, so we don't necessarily have to finish panels one on one or anything like that. But if you can glass them out, especially if they're blend panels or something, make it look nice, make your work look good, stand out. That's always a bonus.
Yeah, for
I know
sure. Go
I
ahead.
know that we talked about this in the beginning before the show, but I mean for the show, I mean you love being a collision technician, you're learning PDR to stay
Yeah.
a collision technician. Um that's a different view than we've heard from a lot of people, but I get it. I
Yeah.
love collision too. So
Yeah.
it's
Absolutely. The
it's
like
definitely
what
sorry,
Noah's talking about right here, the Kiko training. He's talking about save or trying to figure out what the 6 C's are now, saving up for that training. We went to that training last year in OKC at 5-day training, and it was fun. It was really, really exciting, and that 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 is like a top notch training. It really is.
Noah, just so you know, that stuff's all available online for free.
Hmm.
So it's I'm gonna create a banner right quick, but it's pull2paint.com, and that will get you the 6 C's for free. You just have to read and watch the
What's up,
video.
Matt?
watch the videos and hold on to the information.
Mhm.
Because it's nobody's feeding it to you, but
Right.
it's all available for free. And then honestly, I'm not saying the training is no good. Even a 1-day Kiko training, my 1-day Kiko training changed my life. Absolutely changed my life that day. In the body shop, out of the body shop, didn't matter. It was transformative. And it's because I was really into it. You
Mhm.
have to be passionate for all of this. And there were people that took the same training as I did, weren't passionate, and their
Didn't
lives are
care.
still the same.
Didn't
So
care. They went
it,
back to doing it the old way.
Yep.
right. And
The mindset.
I'm not gonna knock them for it,
Yeah.
but eventually they'll be left behind. This
100%.
is the future of body repair. Not too long from now, I'm going to guess within 10 years, the dent puller is going to be looked down upon.
Yeah, I would agree, especially with the panels getting thin and the high
Yeah.
strength steel. I mean, they don't want to stick to the panels anyway. And
It
you know,
already is with
yeah,
what is it,
Mhm.
Rivian? Rivian doesn't want you to use any of those
Yep.
tools. They want you to
yep,
use all glue and want you to try to use the PDR process.
hmm
Yep. Yeah.
yep. So that's the way it's going. And um, Chris says he likes the Glexo blending hammer. I think you just recently bought that one as well.
I
Um,
did the
yeah,
4-ounce blending hammer, and I was using it a lot today, actually.
in
I
the
had
body shop.
in the body shop, and I had PDR work in the body shop. So yeah,
Okay.
I used it a lot today, and I am still super happy with it. I'm still also going to those snap-on blending hammers, the carbon fiber handles.
Mhm.
I have a couple of them set up just like my snap-on hammers were, like the pick sort of on one end and a flat on the other side, and it's just that's what I'm used to. So when
Yeah.
I'm working metal, I love that hammer. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's the Glexo hammer is very nice.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
one of you guys mentioned the other week about using the hammer more than like using the knockdowns.
Yeah.
That was
And
him.
yeah, I started actually. I had the same hammer, and I started using that.
Mm.
And man, that little bit of advice, man, it
Yeah.
changed the game. So now I'm just more precise with that. I can see maybe it's just the vision. I can see better, because I'm further
Mhm.
away.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I can really see where I'm knocking down, and can kind of it's helping me clean up my work a lot better.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it does, and it takes. I think as it takes a certain eye for that kind of stuff. I mean, I do use knockdown and stuff, especially when it's getting nasty. But as far as like when I want to really slick it out, I put that light back and I get that blending hammer, and it just starts melting back away like it was never even there. It's really cool to see,
That was the
especially.
hurdle for me with learning PDR, is I didn't
uh,
understand that at all. I didn't understand blending. I mean, pretty much all my jobs ended wavy.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I got the dent out, but there was a giant wave in the panel, and I had no idea that it was there or how to get rid of it or anything. So it's
yeah,
just so then you learn blending, and it's just all that just melts. So anyway, that was a stepping stone for me learning PDR, and a big stepping stone for me learning body work, which I don't know why it's popped in my head, was shrinking. Once I learned how to shrink metal,
hmm
I could repair anything at that point, and that was the only thing standing in my way. Stretch stuff, you know.
hmm yeah,
how
Um,
did you go about shrinking those panels?
I like using a dent puller with one of those. I don't know if it's brass or copper attachment, and just a few sparks and compressed air. I don't like a
Okay.
wet rag. I don't feel like it's as cold as the compressed air, and
yeah.
it makes a mess.
Yeah, it
Right.
does. I never used the wet rag thing. I thought that was stupid. I always wet a napkin instead because you throw it away. I'm just messing with you guys. All right. Well, yeah. I mean,
Nicholas.
before we get up here, because our 1 hour is almost up. What do you
Woo.
have any advice for anybody that has made the switch to PDR like you have done in a body shop? As far as I mean, you
Or
you
using
wanted to do it. You put in the work to learn all this stuff. If you had to do it over again and maybe fine tune a few things, is there anything that you would do different?
I would have got training sooner. If it
Okay.
was something I would have done different, definitely got some training sooner. Because teaching yourself can be tough. You know, you see the guy beside you, doing it the traditional way. Not that he's doing anything wrong, he's just doing it traditional, and you have to keep that mindset of, I'm trying to better myself. You know,
Mhm.
this is the way the industry's going. I got to learn it now. The sooner the better, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, if you plan on being in it for, the long haul, I think do it as soon as possible. Get the training, start it. Most of these guys I found, they're really not. They don't care too much about learning the whole PDR thing. They're happy with collision.
Yeah.
They just they want to learn how to do it a little cleaner. Not have
Mhm.
to put so much filler on there, less sanding. That was a big thing for me. I don't like sanding filler.
Right.
I can't stand sanding, getting all dirty and whatnot. I mean, I'm a collision tech. I don't mind getting dirty, but
Yeah.
I just don't want to breathe in all that dust and sweep up everything. Get all your tools dirty. I
Mhm.
can't
Yeah.
stand it.
We used to call them dust bunnies.
No, I want to reiterate what you're saying there about getting the training sooner. And I'm saying it because Nick kind of skipped the training thing and just learned everything himself,
I
which is
did.
fine, but it takes longer.
It
For
does.
sure.
And some people get discouraged and they give up. Actually, I'll bet you a lot of people do. You're a determined dude, Nick. So it's
I'm
you're
either
determined to learn.
right. I'm either too stupid or too stubborn to give up. I don't know which one I am, but
But
either way, I'm here.
but this is great because it validates the one piece of advice I give more than anything, which everybody asks, I want to learn PDR. What's a good PDR starter kit?
Mhm.
And it's like, no. Forget that entirely. Find your training. And some of them are cheap or free to start.
Mhm.
And that training right away is going to hit you with what tools you should start with. And if I
Absolutely, it
give
will.
you the list at the training I started, and then you choose a different training, they're going to tell you different beginner tools to
Mhm.
start with. And now you've wasted money.
Right.
So I can suggest the training if you want me to suggest that, but I'm not going to suggest tools except for a giant list of brands that I like. And I'm not going
Right.
to tell you what to start with.
Yeah.
So I love that you said the training aspect. So
Yeah, the training knocks the growing pains out of the way. It takes all the wondering what the
gives
tools,
you
where you
direction.
should get them from, how
Yeah.
you should use them. It takes all that out of the way. I went through trying to find and figure out who all this stuff was. So, and it was difficult. It did take a long time.
Yeah. Another big thing with collision is you're not just working with smaller dents consistently. They're
Hmm.
all over the place.
Right.
Paint's missing on some of them.
Hmm.
The these panels sometimes, they just need to replace it.
Right.
But you'd be surprised what you can do with some glue, nowadays. So
Yeah.
just
Ab-
got to have that mindset and just understand that. Just do
right.
what you can, learn what you can.
Right.
But as a collision tech, it is hard because you see, guys on YouTube or whatever just glassing big damage out, and it's
Hmm.
no easy task. It's a skill set that they've developed for years,
Right.
and no technician should go in there expecting they're just going to do that first day. You
Right.
know,
Yeah, absolutely. So when going to training, it's also important to look up what type of training you're going for. If you're going for collision, you probably don't want to fix small door dings. You probably want to go towards some of the bigger aspect, like where do you figure out how to use lateral tension and all that kind of stuff. Those are the tools that's going to benefit you the best in
yeah,
your situation.
yeah,
Right.
100%, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And it's all out there now. It's
It's all
all
out there.
available. I mean,
It is.
there's courses for every level of it. So it's it's yeah, it's all on us. And then yeah, if you're really dying to do it and your shop's not feeling the same as you are, you can be just like Andrew and go and invest yourself with your next paycheck.
Yeah.
So I mean, nobody's stopping you.
Yeah.
And
investing in yourself is the best form of investment you can make.
I have a lot of experience with a lot of tools and stuff. And if anybody messaged me anytime asking me what they should start with as this, I will help with a beginner set for glue pulling in the body shop, not PDR. I'll do it for glue pulling in the body shop. Message me anytime. I'll ask you a few questions on what you're trying to do, and then I'll give you a suggestion. Quick and harmless, I swear.
Easy enough. Easy enough.
I won't ask for your social security number or anything like that. So we'll leave that private.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, y'all have made it through another hour with Smash Masters. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it goes by so fast every time, and we're just like, man, it just flies by. And
you did great, Andrew.
You did.
Hey, thank you guys for having me on.
You absolutely done
Thank
great.
You for coming on.
This is documented for you to have. I know you were a little nervous about getting up here and hanging out, but
he smooth sailing the whole way.
He killed it the whole way. And
appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the guys that wasn't here, we killed it on. I think we killed it on the new intro. You guys check out, stay for the outro. Tell us what you think, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
With that, we'll see you guys.